everybody, it's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. Today it's unexpected, but I did put a few little links out just to let everyone know that I am going to be doing a live just talking about a few things that I'm going to be up to, which are super exciting, aren't they? So hopefully you all love what I'm going to say, because I've been thinking lately, I get a lot of people asking me, if I have in-person classes and things like that, and I just thought, how can I actually teach everyone? How can I show everyone what to actually do? Because it's really hard just in a live like this, because the only option you have is, typing something down. But I thought if we can do some classes that are more like either in person for anyone that's in Melbourne, Australia, or online, maybe we can do like a Zoom, which will be an interactive class, and then basically you can talk on that, so you'll be able to put your hand up and then we'll be able to zoom over to you, and then you can ask a question or you can show what you're doing. So if your camera is on yourself, we'll be able to see your soap you're making as I'm making one, or so on, or you can sit there and watch in the class. But I thought this might be a really good idea just to be able to help teach people, because I know when I first started doing this, there was really not many classes. It was really hard to find anywhere that did classes on not just soap making but many other things, whether it was like bath bomb making and so on. So I'm going to go through the list and I'll tell you the kind of things that I think we're going to be teaching in class. So we'll be teaching how to make lip balms, soap making, obviously candle making, bath bombs, scrubs, body butters, shampoo bars, shower steamers, of course, and then we are also going to be doing like labeling, so teaching the digital side of business as well. And we're going to basically, the idea is we will be hiring a room, and it might be like in a factory room or a community hall. I'm not sure yet. I've got to look into that. But basically, that's what we're going to be doing, and then we'll be teaching. So I'm not sure, like when we do it in person, we're not sure whether it's going to be once a month, once every couple months. It would depend on what people think as well. So anyway, but that's what we're going to do. The digital bit, like I said, what did we decide to do? Labeling, teaching how to take photos with your phone without a camera, without anything too fancy. So that was something that was definitely asked about. Suppliers, talking about what items you should buy, why you should buy it, why you shouldn't, what should be on your labeling, all the things that you need to know, where to go for all of this information, and so on. So anyway, I hope that is of interest to people, because I did think that it's going to be really exciting, and also it will create a community so that people can actually come along and you'll be able to meet me and I can meet you, and then for anybody obviously in person, but of course on the Zoom, it will be individual classes. But so anyone on my Patreon, I will do a big blog on it to sort of talk about what I'm thinking about doing, and then I probably will end up putting something on Instagram and so on. So they're the kind of things that I'm onto. So like I said, we're looking at a hands-on class. We're also going to be looking at documents and PDFs, and of course, and then another thing also that we thought we would bring in, because many of you probably don't know, but I do make some candle jars of my own as well. So we'll teach that as well, how to actually make them in concrete and so on, that are really on trend and on the market at the moment, and why you can or can't use something. So we'll show that as well, because I know I've seen people make candle jars out of like plaster. You can't really do that. It's not strong enough. It needs to be certain materials to be able to hold the heat and so on. So anyway, but that will also be something else that we'll teach. And one of my daughters, she actually has a beautiful laser cutting machine. So hopefully I can bring a video on that as well to show you all that sort of bit. But anyway, I thought that, everybody may be a little bit interested in, like I said, me sort of teaching some classes, because I really do feel like it's kind of, when you first start, you just need someone to help you build on what you're going to do, because it's really, it's really hard. You're kind of behind the eighth ball if you don't know how to do all of these things. So I would love everybody to tell me your thoughts on that, what you think, and obviously we will not do the class unless there is enough numbers. We need to have at least 10 people into these classes and so on. And also, one thing I forgot to say, which I don't know whether it says it on here, on YouTube, you can join on my, so basically at the top of YouTube, it will let you join my channel. Joining the channel is not Patreon. A few people have asked this. It's not actually Patreon. It just means it's like the YouTube thing. So for instance, on YouTube now, you'll see like a love heart. I think it's a love heart, and basically it's like a super button, so you can push that and you pay, basically you can donate money to whoever your YouTube person is that you love watching. So we have that and a few other things on there at the moment, but I don't really talk about that because nobody has to give us anything at all. This is a free channel. The only thing that you pay for is obviously Patreon. So but anyway, that is on there. So I thought I better just tell everyone that, because a few people have said, what does this mean? There's a few little icons extra on the top, and I'm not sure how it works, but I think once you reach a certain level, then certain things come up that your followers can use or subscribe to. But the best place, honestly, to see all the extras is definitely Patreon, because that's when I give away lots of extra things. And on there's also a 30-page booklet for anyone that's been on there for 6 months or more with me. It doesn't matter what level you're on, or you can go on the highest level and then you get the book immediately. And that book has like recipes and everything in it. But I do know, like many years ago, and I'm sure we've all done it with hobbies. I actually used to do ceramic classes and I really loved it. You would go there, you would use all their materials and so on. You just pay your fee for your class, and then you get to take something home, or you're making something over a period of time. And it did create a really fun community as well. So I'm hoping that's what I'm going to do. So the in-person classes, basically you'll come in, you don't need to bring anything. All of the products, everything will be there that you get to use, and then I'll show you step by step, how to do it. So it will be hands-on. You'll get to actually do it yourself, and I will teach you, because I know when I started making soap, I was so nervous. I had the soap and I had, the shea butters and the oils, whatever, just sitting there for so long, and I just kept looking at them. I was really scared because everyone's scared of lye, but there's nothing to be scared of as long as you just take the appropriate steps to making it. So anyway, that's one thing that I thought I just really wanted to show everyone, that it's okay. You don't need to be scared. You can definitely make soap or any of the things that you want to make. And in this class, whether it's the Zoom or in person, I thought it would be really good for us just to go through different steps and things that I guess I've done wrong, and hopefully I can teach you from things that I did wrong to things I do right now. Because at the start, I had so many fragrances. When I mean so many, I think I had about 200. That many bottles, because you get excited and you want to try everything out. But sometimes it's not a good idea to actually just keep trying all of these different ones out. Sometimes you need to really just try and keep it to a smaller amount, unless you're like me, where my wholesale soap, I sell a lot of soap wholesale, so that may be a bit different. You can do many different slabs of soap, or you could do one slab. Once it sells out, then you can do the next. But they're the kind of things I think that are really important to hopefully learn a little bit, like I said, during classes, and give you an idea of what you should learn, what you need to know, and so on. And I do think, from people telling me, one thing that people seem to be really keen on is learning how to do the digital side, which is, the labels, how you use it, how you do Cricut, how you use Inventora, all of these different digital platforms. And obviously I can show you, and I was thinking we could even the in-person one, or even online, we could actually do a class where you bring your laptop along and then I can actually show you on your laptop. So, and obviously I'll have my own and so on. So there'll be lots of, you can all bring your own equipment that you're using, and then of course I can try and help you, or even a few troubleshooting different things that hopefully we can help you with. So anyway, I thought I would just come on here and talk about that today. So of course, you've got that option, or you've got the Patreon option. The only thing with Patreon I think that is a little bit harder for me is I do one class a month where it's live, but it's not interactive. Like, so if you do like a Zoom where basically, you get your ticket, or, you sort of log in, on Instagram where there'll be a link and then you can subscribe or whatever you like. That's basically how I will probably do it. But in Zoom, you can actually get to talk on it. So rather than just texting and you're not getting the right answer back, you can actually, put your hand up in the class and just talk and say, okay, how do I do this? I'm a bit stuck, or whatever. So anyway, my husband was the one that came up with this idea today. He said, why don't you do this? People would be really keen on learning, and sometimes some people just learn easier in person, or being able to speak and asking the questions. So anyway, I would love to know your thoughts on that. So you can just leave me a little comment if you like, where you're from and whether you're thinking of in person or online, because either way is still really good. Online will be good because, like I said, it's Zoom, so it's interactive, where that is definitely so much better. And then of course we'll start with the recipe. So each class will be like, one might be soap, the next might be bath bombs, and then you can just do the ones that you want to do. So if you don't want to learn about soap, or you're already making it, then of course you can just choose to do the bath bomb one, or so on. And like I said, every few weeks or a month we will maybe do a different one and see how that goes. So anyway, that's my thought, and like I said, it'd be very exciting to teach everybody, and I really hope it's just going to give you a better stepping stone so that you know how to actually do these things. So that is my goal, I think, for 2023, is going down that avenue. Of course, I still sell things, but I'm not really big on selling heaps of retail on my site. I don't really stress myself too much about doing that. I mainly sell wholesale on there, and and as Christine, one of my followers, was saying the other day, she said, the next 2 years is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for small business. And I 100% agree with her. She's very right. I think small business is going to really find it hard, because the economy is, really down the tubes at the moment in Australia. It's really not doing too good. So, especially with the prices of food going sky high in Australia, I think the average person probably spends $300 or more on food a week, because it's just very, very expensive. But anyway, like I said, I think that's about it for today. I just thought I'll just come on here and tell you what I'm thinking. Of course, like I said, you can ask me questions if you have any questions on it. But like I said, I just think, you can watch and learn and do those kind of things as well. And like I said, it gives the option of like a two-way or four-way conversation as well. Yeah, Alan, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so, and yeah, that's right, Alan. I do think the Zoom is, my husband was suggesting the Zoom, because my husband and I do own the Australian Soaping and Candle Conference, and so people that have a ticket for that, they actually Zoom in. So we Zoom that live. So every March we do that. This March there'll be 2 days. So we have like a red gala, and so some people come in person and some actually watch live from other countries in that. And that's the same kind of thing where they can be interactive in the conversation. They can, because my husband does everything on the computer there for anyone that's online, and anyone that's in person, I MC the whole thing, of course with other guest speakers and so on that come. But that's basically similar to what I'm thinking of doing a Zoom. But obviously on a conference, I can't teach people a lot at a conference, because your conference is more about, a huge room full of people, and they're learning from the guest speakers. But it's not like a one-on-one where I can go to the next person and show, or or so on. But like I said, I think with a zoom, it's good because, you know, your camera can be facing what you're making, so I can actually see what you're doing. And, you know, while you're mixing it, if you say, hey, this isn't working, you know, I can actually see it online. So I think that's probably a really good thing. And then after that, we might kind of like have a troubleshooting video that kind of follows up with each one, and that will be included into it all as well. So anyway, I do think that is a good idea. So just leave your name and stuff down below if you're interested in that, and we'll, you know, I can contact you later, because this is only in the very early stages. We haven't organized very much as yet. We're just going to get some information to see if anyone's interested in doing that, because on my property, it's not very big, so I would definitely need to hire a room, which is what we'll be doing. So I don't know how that's going to work. My husband was talking to a few people he knows as well, and it won't be out in Warragul where I live, because we're far out. It'll be closer into the city a bit, I think, probably midway into the city of Melbourne for anyone coming in person. And like I said, and then of course, you know, we will be doing the Zoom, because lots of people that follow me are not even from Australia. I think it's like 60+% of my audience is in the US and Canada, and so we can teach people from all different avenues as well. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining on. I hope this has been a little bit helpful, and make sure you ask me questions, because I'm happy to answer, of course. And like I said, I will go over to Patreon, do a bit of a blog tomorrow on it and all the information that I'm thinking, but you will see it on Instagram, so make sure you follow me on Insta as well, because I will actually start to, I won't do it yet, maybe next week we'll start, and on there'll probably be links to it. If I get time before that, I will, but we'll put some links on Instagram so that you can see what's going to happen, and how we're going to go along with that as well. Hello Rainbow Rose, hi my love. Thank you for your little love on there. So yeah, so hopefully, like I said, this really does help people. And one thing people have always said to me is, how are you making jars? Because a few people have seen different things that I've done with jars. So we'll teach you how to make those as well. If you want to make your own jar to be a little bit unique and stand out, that's something that's really fun, and it's not hard to do. People think it's hard and they're scared, but it's not hard to do. But you know, you just have to be careful with the materials and make sure you understand what you're using as well. So that's why you need somebody to teach you that kind of knows that side, I guess. Anyway, have a lovely night, my loves, and I will see you on the next video. Bye everyone.